Welcome to the video where I'm going to give you some instructions on your personal ethical dilemma assignment. But first I wanted to prove to you that I really did hike the Grand Canyon. There's me and my friends on the lodge on the north rim of the Grand Canyon. That story was true. Not smart, but true. Let's talk about our ethical dilemma assignment. There's two phases to this assignment. Number one, you need to establish an ethical dilemma. This should be a dilemma that you've either lived or that you're living or that you've observed in a work setting. So you want to identify a time at which there was a clear ethical dilemma in the workplace. And then you want to write a case. So the first assignment that is due the Saturday of week 2 is just the case. You're writing this as if you're in the situation right now, and you're discussing the facts around the situation. What are the facts that define the ethical dilemma? What is the ethical dilemma? So write it in a form of a question. And then I want you to make sure it's very clear who you are in that situation. If it's you and you're reflecting upon what situation you were in, or you're describing a situation you're in right now, then obviously it's you. I'm an employee at this organization or I'm a manager at this organization, and this is what's happening. Or maybe you're talking to somebody about an ethical dilemma that you've observed. Put yourself in the person's shoes that is confronting the dilemma. It could be a manager, it could be an employee. So ground yourself in an ethical dilemma that you're going to resolve. Write a case, just a page or two, a case establishing the facts and bringing the reader to the point of the question. In the last video I shared that I'm in a little ethical dilemma right now. So my ethical dilemma, I would explain the situation. I would say that as a faculty member at a university, I'm being required to submit all my book orders directly to the bookstore, to not share any information with students about alternative ways by which students can get the books. So that if it's a new edition, especially if it's using any kind of technology, there's really not a used market available for students. So the students either have to buy it directly through the bookstore, or I know that the publisher provides a direct link that will provide the student access direct to the direct to the publisher to the same book at a significantly lower price. And so I know that there's a contract that stipulates that the university's sole provider of resources is the bookstore. I know that it's been communicated to me that as a faculty member, I have a responsibility to make sure we're fulfilling that contract, and I'm not sharing direct information about the students' other access to the textbook. I know that I am employed by the institution, therefore I have a fiduciary responsibility to the institution. I know that financially the school benefits, because the greater the bookstore sales, the greater the profitability that comes back to the university. I know, of course, that the bookstore profits if they have a situation where all the students at the university are going directly to the bookstore and not buying from alternative sources. And so I'm trying to establish the facts. Whenever I try to establish the facts, I also try to understand what else I need to know, because I have blind spots. Oftentimes, I think I know something is true, but I need to dig a little bit deeper to find out what's really true. I know in my life I've made some mistakes because I did not fully understand the facts. Once upon a time when I was working in an organization, I'd been told that I was being overlooked for promotion because of some inappropriate motives by a manager, and therefore I was being cheated and there wasn't justice being done. And so in a union setting, somebody came to me and said I need to file a grievance and I need to try to get justice for me, and I listened to them, but I did not know the facts. I acted out of self-interest, not necessarily fully aware of what was going on. And so I submitted a grievance, and I said I had been done wrong, and as a result of that there was some trouble that came down on my manager, and the manager came to me and said, "Mike, I wish you'd come to me, because here's what was really going on. I was protecting you from something, and I've got another plan for you." So he was really operating out of my best interest, but because I thought I knew the facts, I drew an incorrect conclusion. So for me, it's important that I identify what the factual context is. And then I understand what else I need to know to make sure that I'm fully informed so that I'm not making an erroneous decision based upon a perception that is not true. So in your case, you want to establish the reality as you understand it. Establish the case to the point at which you're going to solve the problem. State the question. Make it clear who you are in that question. So for me, in my dilemma right now, I'm a faculty member at a particular institution. It's not Point Loma. And as a faculty member at that institution, I have a dilemma. Do I submit my bookstore orders directly to the bookstore and withdraw or withhold from my students the awareness that there's an alternative path by which they can get the books cheaper if they choose? That's my ethical dilemma. The case would then leave it at that point. What am I going to do? Now, as we go through the course material, you're going to have an opportunity to put together economic, legal, and ethical duty analysis. As you use those tools, you're going to develop a compelling moral argument. So the final paper that you'll submit, I think it's in week 4, you will take that ethical dilemma, that question that has been posed, and you will then do analysis to lead to an argument for your decision. So you'll make the decision using the analysis. You'll need to demonstrate you can use the analysis. You'll make your decision, and then you'll develop your compelling moral argument as if you're going to your boss and you're saying, here's what I'm doing, here's why I'm doing it, here's why I think it's right, and why I think this should become the norm for the organization in the future. You want to make a moral argument for yourself, and then a justification that has merit so that it has a chance of winning the day within your organization. If you have questions, please text me or put a discussion post on Canvas. Let's interact. You can also email me, do what you need to do so that we can contact. It's best probably to keep it here on Canvas, just between you and me. I also want to make it clear that these are confidential. These are for my eyes only. You can definitely change the facts so that you're not referring to any particular organization or people, but I don't want to impose any discomfort on you by you talking about an ethical dilemma that you're in or that you have been in that might reflect negatively on anybody or any organization. So understand, as you're dealing with this personal ethical dilemma, this is between you and me, and it's a way for you to wrestle with what you should do. Have a great day. Bye-bye.